Owerri, towards Uyo, towards Calabar, towards Yenegua. Shouldn't those places, by the very virtue of its attractiveness, shouldn't those places get the big roads, the big hospitals, the flyovers, the movie centers, the play areas? These developments, these streetlights. Look at some of you in GRA, for example. Some of you at Ngboba NTA Road axis, even in Rumosi, Odili Road, Rumumasi. Right? I've seen signs that NDDC did this project. Solar street lights paved the road, left, right, and center. Why? There are a lot more people in this area, or aren't they? As always, do well. Turn down the volume of your radio set. Refrain from making derogatory or defamatory comments. Didn't see it? Didn't hear it? Please do not make unsubstantiated and unverified claims, and do not make inciting statements.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
017-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. At Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on Twitter. At Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH. Now, what areas do you think the NDDC should focus more of its efforts? We're not saying that they should totally abandon the rural areas, neither should they totally abandon the urban centers, because Port Harcourt, for example, already has bridges. Port Harcourt, for example, already has high-rise structures. Port Harcourt, for example, already has better power supply, right? Great. But going forward, what areas? And there are pros and cons, and there are people who are on different divides to this particular conversation. I'd like to get to hear from you this morning. Now that the NDC has celebrated its 23 years of existing and working in the area, there have been criticisms, there have been support, there have been praise. The question is, which should they focus more on now? The rural areas, where you have less people in some places, not in all, or the urban centers where people are gravitating, where the economic hub in most states are thriving or are located? People in those places, we need better access to road, power, and things like that. Not saying that people in the rural areas don't deserve so. Please. Mike 3. Hello, Port Harcourt. Good morning, please.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Very well. Thank you for joining us, please.
Yeah, my name is Nede Barine, calling from Broga, Thai local government.
Go on, Barine.
No. Yes. Happy Democracy Day.
Happy Democracy Day too.
Yes, so great. The issue you have just put to us to see how ending this issue enable and develop some of the place. I'm in line with the need that the rural area is much of concern. So it's a commission that is to develop several states, but taking River State as a case study, you can discover that the rural places, people in the rural area are interested going into the urban area every day and returning back.
Mm-hmm.
And like the East West Road we are talking about, it's a place of concern. Just that the development is very poor. The other structure that has to do with schools, other structure that has to do with market, other structure that has to do with water resources that can enable the place, people there fit well, is not there. So NDDC as a project, as a commission that is made to touch lives, so make impact, should do well and ensure that the rural places were developed. If you can move into the Ogoni axis within the Norwa Kida Road, there is this satisfaction village that is well developed by Lesi Mao, where bread is being customized. The same bread that people from Port Harcourt all the way towards Antonia, all these places, they are buying bread at the rural areas this time around, just for that interest. So NDDC as a commission should make it as a point of fact and touch lives in the rural places. electricity, all those things are being needed. So I wish you should be in the rider. Thank you.
Okay, so more should be in the rural areas. 90.3, good morning. Hello, Port Harcourt.
Yeah, Mr. Zion, good morning to you.
Good morning.
It was a 23 years to celebrate corruption, embezzlement, abandonment of projects. A 23 years to celebrate, Mr. Senator, you can off the mic. Off the mic. It's a monumental shame and embarrassment for 23 years. I don't know if you have picked through the Northeast Development Commission what they are doing in the North. Go and pick it through and compare to what they are celebrating here. They shouldn't celebrate anything. It's an insult to those that died for the Niger Delta region.
Okay, so now let's move on from that sentiment to where exactly should
master plan.
Where's the focus for?
Where is the master plan? See, NDDC was given with a mandate, and a master plan was handed or a developmental master plan. Have they followed the master plan? Go and look at the activities of the former MD, Kimi Alaibi.
Okay.
It was as his era left, they closed the master plan. The master plan was to develop the rural areas, give them agriculture, give them power, give them school. See, that was the master plan. I am not here to favor anybody, to praising anybody here. But let us look at the definition of the term. Have you visited the master plan? How many pages of that book have you covered?
Okay,
for the past 23 years.
So now, Zion, like I said, online when I asked this question, the argument was, so the rural areas need health. People have complained on this program, for example.
Let us go back to the master plan.
So only
visit the master plan that is meant to last for 15 years. If you feel that master plan cannot meet up the present day demand, get professionals, get seeking ideas from the people from the locality, develop another plan that will run for the next 10 years. That is the solution to this problem. Mr. Zion.
All right. WhatsApp now 009-030-6416. 009-030-6416. The rural areas should have been developed both in human and infrastructure. Unfortunately, they chose the urban areas for reasons best known to them, which I think is hypocrisy and misplaced priority. Since its creation, the NDDC has not ceased to be the cash cow for political activities, totally deviating from its core duties as an intervention commission. Michael, with that particular comment, Asiya says NDC projects in a metropolitan and urban areas of the Niger Delta and distributed according to where their top dogs have their residential apartments and business outlets. My estate is a typical proof of that, Asiya says. So you get to see NDDC projects like street lights, tarred roads, in urban centers. Yes, it's good that the NDC intervenes in those places. But what about Kuala community, for example? What about Igboshimini, for example? Don't they need interventions?
Stay with us. Win big.
Welcome to Hello Port Harcourt. Our conversation this morning is all about the NDDC, and in particular its focal regions. Where do you think should the NDDC right now have its focal points? Where should they invest money, resources into the, in quotes, Niger Delta? Now, a lot of people had envisioned, dreamt of having this intervention, talking about the NDDC coming through to make the Niger Delta look a little bit more like its international neighbors and friends, areas that generate oil wealth like the Niger Delta. Unfortunately, and this is the sad reality, that has not been the case. Have there been intervention schemes? Yes, there have been. Roads have been built. Hospitals, primary healthcare centers have been built. Power intervention in terms of solar power generation and solar supply for certain areas have been made. Even agricultural intervention schemes like farms and the like have also been made. Schools have been built under the NDDC umbrella. But the question is, where should their focus be going forward? People have criticized that whilst the NDDC was meant to make the entire region look and have a better feel, it hasn't. Seeing more of their effect, more of their intervention schemes in the urban centers, as opposed to the communities, to the rural areas where you have limited sources for education, limited sources for healthcare, limited sources for relaxation and recreational activities. So, shouldn't they focus on building schools? Shouldn't they focus on building healthcare centers, recreational centers in the rural communities, as opposed to where we have them, in quotes, largely domiciled? Now, I don't have all of the facts before me. I don't have every single contract that has been granted since its inception. But once again, we're talking about perception, aren't we? One 792300003. All right, I did tell I have to follow up and read your messages before we get to the news break. 009-030-6416. That's where you find us on WhatsApp and on Telegram. Good morning, Jude. I'm of the opinion that the government should build a means of connection, like building overhead bridges that connect the two places so that both can be developed at the same time. Nandi from Oregwe, that's not a bad idea. Good morning, Jude. Okay, all right. Need to address this. Ben in Port Harcourt says, I think the rural areas need the most attention. Think of what happens when the urban areas get overpopulated. Definitely the economy of that city suffers because it has more people to cater for. Anybody have a place in mind? Somebody say Lagos. We'll be back. Let's get to the headline news. areas do you think the NDDC should focus more of its efforts, rural or urban centers? Now, I have given you reasons why some people say it should be in the urban center. Some are saying it should be rural areas. They are obviously, right in their own respect. There are obviously pros and cons to these issues. But the question still remains. More Nigerians, particularly those in the Niger Delta, are calling for the effect to be better felt of NDDC. They don't quite feel it in some areas. Like I said, there are some communities right here in River State, one in particular, a local government, with so many of the communities in that area bereft of primary healthcare centers, good school, or even power. And the most basic of amenities, talking about road access, is the biggest call for those in that part of River State. So it would be nice for them to be able to say, oh, the NDDC have fixed this road. The NDDC were involved in creating schools and also helping in the employment and maintaining of teachers in our locale. The NDDC has made sure that we have solar lamps here so that at night people in the community can see where they are walking or driving to if there are vehicles in those areas. These are the sort of things people will want to make mention of. On the other side, people also say, well, in Port Harcourt, for example, there are internal roads that are bad. These people are also, in quote, Niger Delta residents and Niger Delta citizens. The NDDC should also have interventionist schemes and projects in these areas. So, I'm going to pass over the microphone to you right now, and let's get to hear your thoughts.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
My 2.3, good morning, welcome. Hello, Port Harcourt.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Joseph.
Good morning.
Good evening, Port Harcourt. My name is Clement.
Welcome, Clement.
Okay, for me, I would say NDDC should concentrate on infrastructures that will bring employment. Or better still, we have businesses in these rural areas who need government interventions, who need government empowerment. Empowerment, for me, is not giving them cash, but is to look at their challenges and ask them, what is the problem? What can we do so that you can boost productivity in your region? Now, you mentioned HA. So if you ask me, I think most of the garden we consume, palm oil we consume. How are these people producing it? And at what capacity are they producing it? If we give them these resources, can they double it? Can they triple it and all that? And using garden palm oil, for instance, there could be other things in other regions.
Yes.
In Bugoma, in Abonima, in Aparitoro, in Obibo, in Agenebode, wherever. Look at all these things and say, okay, what can we do? It must not be building of roads. It must. Then government can focus. State government can focus on building of roads and all that in partnership with them. Okay, like we did. If you want to do something, inform us. That is not a bad idea. However, this is what I think NDDC should do. And if they do it, trust me, that mama, that papa in the village will be happy more, because, for instance, supplying a foodstuff to the city will not be challenged for them. Create that enabling environment. Now, the cultures, the insecurity around these areas, youth, boys, ladies will be meaningfully employed. There is no need rushing to Port Harcourt, to Lagos, when you know that within your locality, you can boost your economy and earn even 15K a week or even more than 50K a week. There are people, when you go to their village, they'll be asking, you will show them love before you go out. You must drop something because to get 1K is not easy. That's my opinion. Thank you.
All right, that's a very interesting take on the issue. It's not so much about building roads, but what about what those people need? Now, it's interesting he made mention of this because on the spot, the president of Niger Delta Activist Forum, Success Jack, says it is worrisome the NDC is yet to carry out a needs assessment of the people before citing projects such as roads in some of these areas. Let's take a listen to what he said.
Owing to the fact that quality of projects have been seriously compromised, there's no NDDC project hard to find, except maybe for bridges, but hard to find. They are more into road infrastructures, shore protection, but owing to the fact that most of the technical aspects have not been well taken care of over the years. You see NDDC will sit in the office and design a road for a place where they've not even been to. The lives of our people have not been meaningfully impacted.
Did you get that? Now, I cannot say this is 100% accurate, but the perception here is, do they actually do needs assessment to ascertain if, this road is actually what this particular community needs? Every community needs roads, don't get me wrong, but what is the most pertinent thing right now? That's the big question. That's what a lot of people are asking. That's what we're asking this morning on Hello Port Harcourt. 0817-923-0003. Now, at Nigeria Info PH, is where you find us on Facebook and on Twitter. At Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on Twitter. At Nigeria Info PH. Once again, follow and join in the discussions every time. We always have stuff to talk about here on Nigeria Info. Now, let's read some comments. Johnson Charles says, NDDC, as long as I'm concerned, it's a shamble. They have nothing to write home about. They are just some bunch of corrupt people who do not have the interest of the Niger Delta at heart. For me, Jude, if you ask me, I would say the urban regions should be developed more, because though the rural areas are more populated, most of the food and communities that we make of use comes from the rural areas. All right, NDDC need more than just hard work for the development of the Niger Delta, especially the rural areas. Let them borrow empathy, for God's sake. Be the change. And Frank De Niro says on Facebook. All right, King Oliver says they should focus on the rural areas and not the urban areas, which already is developed by foreign bodies and entities. Miracle in West says, I think they should focus more of their efforts in rural centers. Let's get to WhatsApp now. 009-030-6416. 030-6416. Good morning, Jude. The NDDC should intervene in schools in some villages, and urban areas should be more developed. So schools should be taken care of, or should be handled, or should be the focal point for the NDDC. All right, in the rural areas, whilst in the urban centers, they should continue to develop the urban centers. That's from Obume in Ahoda. All right, thank you very much. Now, the NDDC project should focus more in the rural communities. While we blame them for not taking projects in the rural areas, the ones taken to the rural areas, how well is it being executed? The shore protection project in Tombia in Degema local government by the NDDC is still uncompleted. Same goes for other communities as well, because they awarded the contracts to the so-called Niger Delta big boys, and these boys just share the money. Also, the Water Hyacinth project is another fraudulent avenue. They didn't misappropriated the Niger Delta funds. I think I remember that Water Hyacinth project. That's an agricultural project. It is worrisome that the NDDC have failed the Niger Delta people. Tonte Ebikalabo with that comment. Hi Jude, the NDDC should consult the people of each community in the Niger Delta in order to give them basic amenities they need to improve their standard of living. That will reduce the population of people migrating to the urban centers. No name to that particular message, but thank you very much for sending them across. So let's get back to the phone lines and hear you. 0817-923-0007. 0817-923-0007. and 0817-923-0007. So I've repeated it 3 times just in case you didn't get it, right? We have other numbers, but please, 0817-923-0007. Alternate number 0817-923-0003. On WhatsApp here, the NDDC focuses on infrastructure where the senior staff are resident. It says and the Cat Link Road, for example, there are tarred roads there, and they've bought lands and they've built their houses. See, another perception. People think, oh, it's where staff are located, that's where they go and fix. Is that fair? 90.3, good morning, please.
Hello, good morning, how are you?
I'm very well. Good morning, thank you for calling, please.
Yeah, my name is Enzo. I'm calling from where is it? Rumiko.
Good morning, Enzo.
How you doing?
Welcome.
NDDC. I've known NDDC as masters of investing in substandard projects.
Ouch.
I've been asking myself this question. We live in Niger Delta. I can tell you for free, we have a lot of talent wasting in the Niger Delta. Like you said, let the state government do the roads, local government do their own trunk-T road, NDDC. They should start to invest in human capital. What is stopping them? Well, like I said, we're in Niger Delta. We have a lot of people who can swim. What is stopping Niger Delta from investing in sports? I'm not supposed to be turning out athletes, swimmers who go to the wall and defend Nigeria. Is it rocket science? Go towards the creek. We have oceans in Niger Delta. Niger Delta should invest in vocational training centers and technical colleges. Let us start producing swimmers who go to Olympic and pick up gold medals. Is it rocket science? I think it's rocket science.
Wow.
How do you fight crime in a society? It's not by investing in sports, keep the youth busy. Can they think far beyond their stomach and bank account?
But Enzo. Hello, Enzo. Hello. Can you hear me, Enzo?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No, I have to be very honest. Your comment is the very first comment today in the direction of sports. Like, that's building capital, not necessarily building schools or hospitals. But you have a point there. So now, if you talk about swimming, so you are basically saying that in these areas, swimming pools can be generated, teachers can be brought in,
absolutely. In all the local governments, you produce swimmers or go to Olympic and pick up gold medals. It's not rocket. I can tell you for free.
Wow.
You go to the creeks of Niger Delta, you will see people who are talented in swimming that just lying fallow, waiting for people to invest in them. If you go to Standard Society, they identify someone who knows how to swim, the government will invest in that person, and the people become a world star. It's not rocket science. The resources are there. Swimmers, we have them in the creek, waiting for people just to identify them, invest in them, and send them to the world. Do we need rocket science to do that? And this is what to tell me. How much will it cost the government? And how do you fight crime? That's the fastest way to fight crime is to invest in sports. Sports and the talent, we have raw talent lying fallow on the streets of Niger Delta. NDDC to wake up from that state of reduced consciousness, identify this talent, invest in them, and send them to the world to defend Nigeria. That's my case.
Enzo, thank you very much. You can't see me right now. Well, some of you can who are streaming on Facebook. But I have goosebumps all over my body because I have to be very honest. Yes, we've talked about sports, several occasions, but from the standpoint of what's his name now, Enzo. Enzo saying, look, if the NDC is meant to focus on anything, focus on the rural areas, focus on sports development, and it's like an aha moment has just gone across. How many of you born, raised within the Niger Delta, whether you're a Korea, whether you're Ijo, whether you're Kalabari, whether you are from Ogun, how many of you can actually swim? Yet we live very surreptitiously in the Niger Delta, where they have creeks, where there's an ocean. In Bonny is an island, for heaven's sakes. From Bonny, you can get to the Gulf of Guinea. How many of you can swim in the open seas? this is I once visited, not once, several times, in Lagos. Went to the Bar Beach and was it Echo Beach or I can't remember, but no, a few beaches, 1 or 2 beaches in Lagos. And I remember, right, 98% of us who were at the beach and who continue to go to these beaches, we do not venture into the ocean. We stay where the waves can, gently carry foam to our feet, take pictures, pose with our nice short outfits and stuff like that. Meanwhile, I saw foreigners swim into the ocean. And I mean, they swam into the ocean. I didn't see any lifeguard. I was genuinely worried. But here we are. I don't know. Okay, I know of the sports center in Uniport, right? I know there's a world class swimming pool in Uniport. If you've not been there and you didn't hear, please, you're hearing it for the first time. Uniport has one of the best swimming facility. I think when I was there, I don't know about now, in this country, if not even in West Africa. That swimming pool was Olympic size. It was standardized. Why are people not learning how to swim? Like I said, Enzo had just hit an aha moment for me. My head is just going poof. Who would have thunk it? Well, apparently Enzo did. And he's saying, move this to the rural centers. Don't bring it to the city. Take it over there. I don't think one should be sacrificed for other because problems from one will bleed into the other. What a master plan ever created, and why isn't it being adhered to? One issue is the penchant for eye service. Another is inability to deal with it. I often go into my hobby's business to see what's really up. Many of the employees don't know their guy is married, and of those who know, some don't even know what I look like. It is interesting that you can see to fix when the eye service isn't a factor. Anonymous. That's another issue. Who's going to go? What group is going to go into the Niger Delta and, in quotes, incognito assess, determine what A needs, what community B needs, what community C needs? Frederick on WhatsApp says, good morning, Jude. One of the biggest challenges with the NDDC is the notion that its effect must only be in building roads, hospitals, and bridges. There are other ways this commission should be impacting the lives of the Niger Delta people. Agriculture is a big one. It doesn't make sense to me why people who live in a place where plantain... very true. Where plantain is regularly harvested have to pay over their pocket just to eat what is gotten from their backyards. It doesn't make sense to me. There are factories that can be built. There are buildings that can be modernized to, as it were, make sure plantain is available to all and sundry in the Niger Delta. What is the NDDC doing? Okay. All right. Seems a lot of people are not coming for NDDC this morning. Once again, it's not an accusation. You are not attacking. But where should the focus be? Where should the focus be? Rural or urban centers? That's the big question this morning. A lot coming up our way. Stay tuned, please. This one here says, since the state government is focusing on the city with 13% oil derivation, the NDDC should focus on the rural communities, build skills centers and sports development areas. All right, Chibese Onita says Omoko is a fast-growing town, which is almost a mega city. The Elele Omoko Road is a federal road. When fixed, will make the city grow and make it more meaningful. All right, so more should be done. There's so many places that can even be improved on. Now, yesterday I had a conversation as I wrap up this morning with my father, and he says you should go to Auchi now. Auchi is looking like a mini city. It's so different. I haven't visited Agenebuda in almost 2 decades since my grandmother passed away. Maybe it's time to do so. Who knows? Maybe if things are as great as my father is saying, maybe I'll move. Who can tell? But the point here is this. The people of Niger Delta need to feel, not just see or hear about huge sums spread out for roads, bridges, and stuff like that. They need to feel that there is genuinely an intervention in their day-to-day lives, an improvement in the quality of their livelihood and their lives. My name is Jude. As always, thank you for being a part of our conversations. Good morning.